I understand tech communities are really something vital for every other techie out there, and it's with this that I decided to bring for us someone who is into the tech community and is also a data scientist. It's going to be sharing about how actually the tech community has helped him build his career in data science and a lot more about that. Welcome, Brayan.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Can you briefly tell us about yourself?
So I am Brayan Mwanyumba. I come from Kenya. I'm a student at Mbarara University. I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in computer security and forensics. I'm also the Google Developer Student Club lead at my university, and I'm also a GitHub campus.
So many titles. How did you get into this? How did you become a community lead, GDSC?
Okay, I felt like when I was starting out, so let me give a story of how I started out in tech. I feel like that will help you understand how I actually got into community. So when I was starting out in tech, I have no background in technology. In high school, I did computer studies. I did home science as an applied subject in high school. So when I was joining university, you know the way people say I want to be a doctor, and so I was also really into the field of medicine. So I'm like, I'm going to be a doctor. So when I was even selecting the courses, I selected nursing, I selected medicine, and I selected dental surgery. Since one of my friends was doing dental surgery at Mwanyumba, so I was like, let me also try this dental surgery. So, and the last choice I had was computer security and forensics. Since when I was young, I read this article on a newspaper that was talking about a forensic science, a female forensic science. I was like, oh, I always see this in crime movies, like, you know, the blacklist, where they take forensic science to help solve crimes. And I was like, this is something I might be interested in. So when the placement results came in for university, I was placed at Mbarara University to do computer security and forensics. So when I went to university, I was like, no, you know what, let me just go, and then I will just switch to medicine, to the School of Medicine when I'm already in the university. So I went, but it was not a simple process. You understand, maybe the bureaucracy in university, you have to fill forms, wait for something. Since the government has paid for this course, you don't have to wait till another academic year for you to be transferred to that course. So I was like, let me give this course a shot, because it's maybe also something I love. So I gave that course a shot. During the first semester, year one, in semester one, we did introduction to C programming. And our lecturer was really skilled in teaching introduction to programming languages. So that is where I started taking. I wrote my first line of code.
Hello world.
My hello world was in C. So after that, now I was like, this is something very interesting. And then I was just browsing on Twitter, and I came across this community called LaxDev Community. It's in Kenya. So in the LaxDev community, we already hosted boot camps. So this boot camp was specifically for Fast API. So you can imagine, I had just written my hello world in Python. I don't even in C. I don't even know what Python is, but I was like, this Fast API seems something I can give it a try. So I joined the boot camp, and I saw Shaggy in that boot camp. I was like, what are these people doing? I remember even asking, how can I add Python to Path? You know, like, how do you even add Python to Path? Those simple things of installing Python and all that. I was asking everything on the bottom, and sometimes I used to feel like, or maybe I'm asking too much. Maybe I should even back out of this thing, but I still stayed. And during that boot camp now, our instructor said that he will also be giving a boot camp together with Makerere University and University of Mauritius. I think I don't know if you are the lead for, it was Makerere University. It was Halima. Yeah, Halima was the lead for Makerere University that time. And Zara was the lead for GDSC Mauritius. So they were doing it was like a boot camp thing. It was a month, I guess, for Python. So our bootcamp facilitator was also the facilitator, and he shared that, hey, I'm doing this Python thing. Whoever maybe is a beginner can also join this and now can learn step by step. Is when I joined that bootcamp, and there is where my journey with Python and data science actually started. Because in the last bootcamp, in the last session of that bootcamp, which was hosted by GTSC, Makerere, and Mauritius, they did a session about Python for data science. And that is where my interest was sparked, and we actually now started the data science. So you see, communities have had me since I was starting out. So I knew the value of these communities because they brought me from nothing to actually understanding these. After that, I went ahead to do different courses and actually building myself in the field of data science, challenging myself in project and all that. So that is what I can say about data science. So you can see from that communities have been a fundamental thing for me since I was starting out. I started out not knowing even that tech communities. In fact, even when I was in those boot camps, I didn't even know that they are called tech communities. I was just in them because I'm interested in learning this and all that. And you can see I was just a year one student, so it was like a lot is happening. I have classes and all that. But I would still make time for it, and they really lifted me from not knowing XYZ in Python to actually now coding in Python and doing data science projects. And even speaking at an event, like I'm here because I'm speaking at Python Uganda. So, which is really interesting, and that I can say communities have been there.
That's really interesting. Now, as someone who has really done a lot through the community, and someone who has worked on their career through the community, how can being part of a tech-focused student community provide a competitive edge in the world of data science?
Yeah, so the first thing is being part of communities, you're able to get opportunities. So, for example, I was part of the, I wasn't part of the GDC, but now by joining GDC Makerere University and my University of Mauritius, I was able to get training opportunities for myself, and I was able even to get a certificate from that. So you see, like you have instead of paying for a course or something, you have a mentor who can help you guide through that process, and you also get resources from the same. I also earlier mentioned that I'm a GitHub campus expert, and GitHub Education provides something that is called the GitHub Student Developer Pack. And in the GitHub Student Developer Pack, you are able to access many resources. Actually, I use the GitHub Student Developer Pack to access data camp, where I did a course for Python for data science after I finished the bootcamp. So you see, it gives you learning resources to help you build your career. Also, maybe just to add on that, in today's morning keynote by Stephen, he shared something about how you need to also talk to people, share your knowledge. Communities give you that platform. Like you see, I'm here because I'm speaking at Paycom. I'm sharing myself. I'm sharing what I understand with other people. So communities also give you a chance to showcase yourself. Like you're not only a developer who codes on your own and does mistakes, but you understand what is happening in the tech world and get help from people. Because you might give up because maybe you are not in a community. But when you're a community or in an amazing community that people actually support each other, you get support from people like Sumaiya here and many other amazing community members. Also, another thing is you can't know you're good at something unless you share. You share more, or you speak about it, or you actually write about it. So communities give you this audience. Like I was speaking today about word embeddings because I learned them, and I was like, okay, how if I tell someone I know word embeddings, how are they going to trust me that I actually know word embeddings? The community gave me a stage. I shared with other people what I knew. So you see, like now that also validates your knowledge. You feel like, okay, you become more confident day by day through the community and by the community. So I can say it's being built through and with the community, and also having a chance to raise someone, to hold someone's hand. This is something that gives you a higher level. Because you've seen like in these other big amazing programs, like people developer experts and all those maybe GitHub stars, one of the requirements they need is that you need to have at least shared something with your community. You need to be active in the community. So you see that community gives you a leverage for all of this. Yeah, so I can say maybe that is what the community can give.
All right. I hope for someone who has been still deciding on whether to be part of the community or just stay with the way they're doing their things can now understand that community plays a vital role in each and every techie's life. All right. So, in what ways have you seen students effectively collaborate with communities to tackle real-world challenges?
Yeah. So, I will start by an example from my own university. This year, so I come from University in Rift Valley region. So we teamed up together with other students in Rift Valley region to come up with a hackathon that will host all students in the Rift Valley region. So we hosted one last year, which happened at Mwanyumba University in Kenya. This year we hosted one that happened in my university at Rotaractor University. So during that hackathon, we had students build products on Google Crowdsource data. Since I'm also a Google Crowdsource influencer in my university, I said instead of just contributing to Google Crowdsource, you can actually use the data that you contributed to build amazing products in the community, through the community, since it was a hackathon. And through that, we're able to see fellow students build other amazing projects that are able to solve problems that are facing them themselves. And also, as GDSE, we also get to participate in solution challenge, and we have students building solutions for their communities as part of the Google Developer Students Club community. So you see, we are able to solve problems for our community through a club. Because we had one project built in Lunar Hacks. It was a project on mitigating climate change ventilation in the Horn of Africa. I understand that this is something that has been affecting the Horn of Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa in general for a very long time. And those students, one of them is Konya, who was a previous GDSE lead at Egerton University, decided to actually now come up with this project. So you see, you get a chance and a platform to build projects that solve the problems you have seen and you want to solve in your community.
Wow, that's really nice. Now, for someone out here, for a viewer, for someone like me who really doesn't know about data science, how can active involvement in the community bridge the gap between academia and practical industry applications?
Yeah. So when we talk about bridging the gap between academia and practical skills, we actually mean that you actually do that thing. So what I can say is communities help you by hosting hackathons. I feel like hackathons are the best place to start, and we have communities like MLH MLH of course, GitHub Campus Experts that usually partner to actually host these hackathons. Like we had Hackon happening in the United States this year, it just passed, and they build amazing. So I can say one of the things that you can do to bridge the gap between your knowledge and skills is first participate in hackathons. It can be intimidating to actually just learn something. When you learn, like, okay, how am I going to use Python lists to actually build something? You are like, how am I going to use this thing? Actually, when I was learning other people, I was feeling, okay, I'm learning about dictionaries in Python. How am I going to now actually use this dictionary to solve a problem in the world? So I started out by participating in hackathons. You can participate Africa's Talking, host hackathon, which is also a community, host hackathons, and you have one lady who might have called Opwanjeri, who has been participating in many hackathons for Africa's Talking. So even if, let's say today Africa's Talking is hiring for a female developer to build on top of their payment APIs, probably maybe she'll be the first person to come to the name of the organizers, because she has always been showing up to the hackathons, and now maybe easy to move from now just a hackathon participant to actually working at the company. So it is easy for you to start building from hackathons and challenges, then moving forward. And the good thing is you have many of them. Another example is Google Sum of Dogs and Google Sum of Dogs, which is about now OPEX. And another amazing thing is have founders in Africa, Adam Koyom and Samson Godio, that came up with this amazing community called Open Source Community Africa. And we have chapters all over. We have a chapter in Nairobi, we have a chapter in Kampala that's even part of this event, Icon Uganda. So you can join these communities and you get to participate to Open. And the good thing about Open is you can participate in it whether you're a data scientist, a machine learning engineer, a designer, anything. We also have a community called Anita B.org. I'm sure most of you. It focuses on diversity, teacher inclusion, and also providing resources to females in different communities. They also have chapters all over. They have a chapter in Nairobi and many other regions. So for you to bridge that gap, you have to be intentional. That I know this thing, but I now want to start moving into this field. You start building upon yourself and yourself. And there's this article that Adora Nodo wrote from Nigeria. There was an article about how to move from crawling to flying. The step that you can take maybe as a beginner to actually now build your skills into it. I think it should be attached to the description of this video so that you can go ahead and read it. I feel that the article really helped me when I was starting out, because I understood how to organize myself and learn how I'm going maybe to move from just crawling into flying in the tech ecosystem.
That's really nice. I really hope we are taking notes as we are watching this. And so now, what strategies would you recommend to students looking to establish meaningful connections and networks in the community?
Be involved. When you join a community, You can join a community and just remain silent. Nothing will happen. Try and be involved in that community and now establish meaningful connections. You can be involved as an attendee. You can be involved to volunteer as a speaker for a community. You can be involved in participating in a hackathon in that community. Let me share an example of how I decided to be involved. I was part of a community which is called Dev Careers. It's based in Nigeria, but I joined the community because they had a scholarship for laptops. And that time I didn't have a laptop. So I joined the community with the intention of applying for the laptop scholarship. I applied for the laptop scholarship, but sadly I didn't get in. But that wouldn't mean I still wasn't able to participate in that community. Since they have different channels, I looked around, and that is when I just started doing started doing technical writing. Thanks to a session by Cynthia Peter and Cynthia the session with Anita in Nairobi, I joined the session and now started writing articles. So I saw that the technical writing channel was really dormant. Nothing is really happening, people just pushing, and I reached out to the community manager. Hey, I've seen this channel is dormant, but other channels like backend development, data science have channel lead, and these leads are doing amazing things with their channel. Like, I am willing to volunteer to be part of the channel. Okay, that is interesting. Maybe you can hop on a call and discuss maybe how you want to do this. We hopped on a call, and interestingly, I got a chance to become a channel lead for technical writing. And given that opportunity, I decided not to even make more impact in the community. And the recent thing that we have done is this year we partnered with Educative Answers to host a technical writing workshop. And we had amazing sessions where my community members got a chance to be part of them and listen to industry experts. We hosted Adora Nodo who took them through a resume workshop with their community members, and they also got to write their first article and publish it in the Educative Answers platform. So you see, from just being someone who joined the community because of in need of a laptop to becoming someone who is now impacting and helping people write articles and bring in amazing speakers to help my fellow community members. So just be involved in the community and make meaningful. When you decide to be intentional and be involved, the connection will just make you ready.
Alright. Now you're talking about getting involved, that means you have to get involved to do the events and so many other things that happen in the community. So what are some unique opportunities and events within student communities that aspiring data scientists should actively participate in to enhance their careers?
Yeah, so I'll start with GitHub education. So GitHub education recently launched something called GitHub Octanship. It was something that was starting out, so it was launched in select countries in Kenya, in Africa, including Nigeria. So GitHub Octanship is like an internship program that pairs students to companies, and these companies they're able to now get the internship experience. I hope they're going to expand the reach from Nigeria alone to other countries in Africa like Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, and many others. But this is a good program because we've seen, being a GitHub campus expert, I've seen GitHub Octans graduate from the program with amazing results and amazing knowledge, because they also have AI companies and they also have AI roles that you can join, developer relation roles. I am specifically focusing on data science, but they also have design roles, developer relation roles that you can also join in. Another one that also we have is the Google Summer of Jobs and Google Season of Jobs, and these are paid open source internships. So you get to contribute to a project and you're being paid. We have Elijah Okello, who even gave a keynote the first day. He's part of the GSOC program. So this is a program that you get to contribute to open source, and at the same time you are being paid. And we also have this program that GitHub also launched recently. It's called the GitHub Social, it's not GitHub Social, but GitHub Open Source Community Management Program. And here's where, if you are a student and you are good with open source and you feel you can help other organizations maintain their open source project. So GitHub has this program to do that. And one of my friends, Clifford Ouma, applied to the role. They are a student. They applied to the role and are now an open source community manager at Open Source. So you see, like, being a student doesn't limit you. There are these many opportunities that you can still participate in and gain a huge experience from them. So I feel like this is something that we need. We also have Outreachy. How can we even forget about it? Outreachy, they even have a celebration for 1,000 in hands here in Kampala today. before we end this event. So outreach is also an amazing program that helps interns, specifically focused on diversity, equity and inclusion, and pairs interns to different organizations where they can take part in and contribute to projects. If the talk that Techo Uganda recorded, you should listen to the talk from Helen and her partner, where they talked about the experience of outreach and all the amazing things they got to achieve working at outreach internship. So I feel like those are some of the things that students can leverage, both open source and others, that they can build their career in.
Now, as someone who has been into the community and has actually developed my career through the community, trust me, I would advise any person in tech out there to go for the community events. There are a lot of things that actually come through that. So as we conclude, what do you think sets a student apart in the job market after they have actively engaged and contributed to the community?
Okay, so what really, first of all, what really sets you apart is your skills and competence. So you should have worked on yourself so hard that you are so flat out fantastic at what you do that they cannot turn you down. I listened to this talk that's from Open Source Community Africa Festival that happened in Nigeria, and Anyedi was talking about the silent A in EMEA. So he said that you need to be flat out amazing at what you do, that they will just have to accept you in that room. So one thing I can say is work on your skills. Have those skills. Like you have amazing opportunities to work on your skills while you are a student, because I've talked about the digital student developer part. We're able to get access to unlimited resources. We have front-end masters, we have data camp, we have Microsoft Azure to enable you to practice that, to deploy your apps to Microsoft Azure. We have Figma if you're a designer. We have something for everyone. We have mobile development package and everything. I will drop a link in the description of this blog in case you're also interested in the GitHub student developer part. All these resources are shared to you as students, so you can also build yourself. Also, being a student, Microsoft also offers you like 3 Microsoft Azure credits if you register with your student email. So all these are things that can help you grow your skills. And then another thing, you can have skills, but you need to showcase these skills. And you need to know what your superpower is. So one way you can showcase your skills is by writing technical articles. And we have amazing people writing great articles. I say that Cynthia Peters influenced my journey to technical writing, together with brother Kiara, who is currently my lead at Open Source Community Africa Nairobi. They really influenced my journey to technical writing, because it's like, this is something that I'm doing. And technical writing helps you know to showcase your skills. When you learn about, let's say, I came here today, and I had a student from Mwangi from Kenya who talked about Python and Apache Beam. I'm like, okay, this is something I should now do. So I go learn about it and then probably write an article about it. So you see, I learned a skill and I showcased my skill through technical writing and writing articles I've learned. Another way you can showcase your skill is through giving talks at different events. And when I say giving talks, it doesn't mean that you giving talk at a big event like Brayan in Uganda and you giving talk at a small event in GDSC Mbarara is different. So long as you brought impact to someone will say, I started Python or I understood this concept through you because you spoke at this event. So don't start as small as possible. Go to your GDSC and say, hey, so and so, I learned this and I feel like I need to share it with your community members. Can you give me a session probably on the weekend so I can come and share? And they will definitely give you a session and you get a chance to also share with the community. So work on your skills and express yourself. You might be someone who is very good at writing technical articles, but you're not comfortable with speaking in public. Write technical articles that everyone will know Sumaiya is a technical writer. Like, write them thoroughly and have them as good as possible, so that everyone feels like, wow, this person has mastered the craft in technical writing and also giving talks. But there are many other ways that you can also, but being a mentor in your community. For example, I participated in the mentorship in the bootcamp that GDSC, Makerere University and University of Mauritius had. So currently Labs Academy also has another program for data science bootcamp, and I am part of the program as a mentor to help people with the tasks that really in that way, like installing GitHub. You know, it can be something so easy, but for a beginner it is really hard for them. And for the facilitators of the bootcamp, maybe they're not in a position to also help someone individually. during the bootcamp. So again, to help participants of the current bootcamp at Lux Academy to also maybe do this, maybe install GitHub, okay, they are starting their project, maybe they can help them move forward. So you see, I moved from just being a beneficiary of one of their bootcamps, but also now also helping others in the community. And that's how you can want to showcase your skills.
All right, so with whatever Brian has said, trust me, after you've done it, then you will be way different from someone who's been contributing and engaging in community activities. So Brian, any parting words for us?
Okay, so I feel like this is a challenge I went through when I was starting out. It's imposter syndrome. This is not about imposter syndrome, but try to view it as an imposter experience. I learned this last year when I attended a talk at Brayan, Kenya, and we have someone who's called Rama, the community manager, one of the community organizers at the Geeking, and he said, don't view it as an imposter syndrome, but view it as an imposter experience. Like, try to be in it, and once you be in it, try to understand. Are you having that experience because you just know, you understand what you're doing, but you feel you're not supposed to be part of that thing? Like, hey, is it me who is really being part of the speakers to Jango from US? And I'm just a small person, maybe from a village in Kenya. But yeah, it's you and you're actually supposed to be there. So try to, and if you're not someone who, you really don't know that subject, you actually need to go and learn about it. Sometimes imposter syndrome is not because you actually haven't understood that subject in depth. So take time, be patient with yourself, and actually learn it. And through it all, accept to be vulnerable within the community. We don't have a know it all. You cannot know it all. Yes, we say we have full stack engineers, but they also maybe have a specific niche that they're also focusing on. So try to be vulnerable with fellow community members. Accept that maybe you don't understand this thing, and accept guidance and support from fellow community members. Hey, so and so, I don't understand this thing. Maybe can you help me here? It's not bad that you don't know it. It's okay. You are all there. Accept to be vulnerable, and so that is something also I'm practicing currently. Accepting to be vulnerable and learning from fellow community. It is not bad at all. It's just you now learning and learning from them.
All right, thank you so much, Brian. This has been quite insightful. I really hope it benefits each and every one that watches it. And thank you so much.